The 2025 season has reached its conclusion, and A'ja Wilson has done it yet again, a 4th MVP in her career. You know what? When you start talking about some of the greatest basketball players, male or female, you need to put her name in the conversation, especially considering what she's done in the 2025 year. 3-time WNBA champion, 4-time MVP, 2-time finals MVP. Like, just look at all the accolades. And she's only 29. She may continue to do this for at least another, if not 3 years, probably more like half a decade. She will continue to be dangerous, and she is a free agent in the offseason. Kiki Irifin, she is the Kia Rookie of the Year. Double-double, not too bad numbers really, other than the shooting. The shooting is atrocious, but this might really speak more to how much she had to play in the regular season as opposed to some of the other rookies that are in her own class. Erica Hamby wins her 3rd Kia 6 Player of the Year award, tying it with Dawana Bonner, who had a 3-year stretch of winning it for the most in WNBA history. Pretty damn good numbers, 50, despite maybe not that free throw number, 60. And we're going to take a look at some of the rookies as, again, Kiki Irifin, absolutely just a workhorse in her rookie year, playing 33.7 minutes, the most of any rookie ever, averaging the double-double. And it just quickly looks like no other player in the league, rookie-wise, was even remotely used at anywhere near the same rate as her, as she is the leader in just about everything except field goal percentage. That goes to Aaliyah Person, a backup point guard for the Mystics. And this was pretty easy to give out this award to her. Maybe she just has a really bright future, considering she is playing with the league's leading scorer. Olivia Sharp also had a solid year. Maddie Westbelt. Irifin was not much of a three-point shooter, so she was never going to lead that category. And taking a look at some of the other numbers for the other rookies, again, not anybody else was really playing a ton, so it was pretty easy for Irifin to do the damage that she was able to do. And you know what? That may have just given her a nice head start over any other player. Tahina Pau was the leader in plus minus, for whatever that's worth to you, though she really didn't play much. Under 10 minutes a game, less than a point a game. Who came up with this? Whatever. Anyways, our very own Hanshu is going to win the Most Improved Player of the Year award. 6 points, 7 boards, an assist and a half, and almost a steal, almost a block. The field goal percentage is atrocious, and for some reason they have completely disregarded her actual previous years playing. She has been in the league since 2019, did miss 2 years for both the wobble and just opted out of playing. That is a common thing in the WNBA. Clutch Player of the Year award, we finally have an idea of how they come up with this. I don't know if that was the case for this award in this game, as the award is so brand new, but she definitely, Arike Ogunwale, definitely dropped buckets this season. We saw her drop 40 against us in a previous episode. Check out the playlist for that. And you know what? The Wings have a pretty bright future. Her, Paige Buchers, they're gonna cause a stir up in the WNBA in future years. Becky Hammond wins the Kia Coach of the Year. I think this is like her 3rd one, and I don't know how the 2K figures this whole thing out. Kia Executive of the Year. They probably just give it to the team with the best record. Whatever. I'm not gonna override that. Actually, I can't. WNBA first team: Wilson, Stewie, Kayla McBride, Caitlin Clark, and surprisingly, even in my own eyes, Tina Charles. Caitlin Clark, a improved 2nd-year season, basically going up in every category that she could. She is, if not the 2nd, probably somewhere in the top 5 best players overall-wise in this league. She is definitely dangerous, just like she is in real life. It's bananas. Tina Charles, who feels like she's been playing in the WNBA for like 30 years. The league's not that old. You know what? Pretty damn good numbers. I see why she was all WNBA first team. 10 points, 12 boards, over a steal, almost a block a game. Shooting percentage is not that great. Aaliyah Boston, Alyssa Thomas, the triple-double machine for the Connecticut Sun on the 2nd team, which is kind of crazy to even think about. Satu Sabali of the Atlanta Dream, Ezi Magbagor of the Fever, and Arike Ongwale of the Wings going to be the second team, which is crazy because first team and the second team could like battle it out, and you never know who would win that one. Defensive first team: Wilson Magbagor, Irafin, Cameron Brink, a rookie we rarely have spoken about in this series, and Brianna Stewart, just doing her all-everything type player business. Second team defensively: Tina Charles, Nafisa Collier, Cheyenne Parker Tyus, Camila Cardoso, and Aaliyah Boston. Again, this league has a lot of talent, even in a pool of teams that really aren't that many. Rookie team: Irafin Bukers, who we saw earlier, is a member of the Wings, 22 years old. You know what? Not too bad at numbers. I'm a little surprised she didn't get more votes for Rookie of the Year. Sharon Anthony, player on the Mercury. We didn't see much of her. We did play the Mercury like 3 times in the first 3 games of the season. So head back to, I think, like the second episode. You'll see how she played there. I'm sure she made some noise. Olivia Sharp also. The shooting numbers are terrible. This is not normal. Maybe I got to change some up in the sliders. Our own Anissa Moreau, who has had her struggles this year, shooting wise, under 30%. I'm going to keep her for year 2, but it's not out of the question for a first rounder to get cut very soon. All right, take a look at the bracket. The Aces and the Liberty will play yet again. This is the 3rd year in a row they've met up in the playoffs. This is, I think, the 2nd time in the first round. The Lynx and the Mystics will face each other as the 2-7 seed. The Fever are the 3 seed. They'll face the Chicago Sky. Yeah, that's Angel Reese's team, in case you forgot. The Atlanta Dream and the Wings are the 4-5 seed. We did not make the playoffs. I am not surprised. Some nights Della Don would be on, sometimes she wouldn't. And we are introducing 2 new teams back to the league: the Detroit Shock, who technically hold the history of the Wings, and the Houston Comets, coming back for the first time in 18 years. And we'll take a look at the league leaders: Kayla McBride, Tina Charles, Natasha Cloud, Kayla Thornton, and Kiki Irafin all average over 30 minutes a game. Fun fact: they all play for the same team. 2K, can you please get the rotations right? I shouldn't have to change this. I didn't even realize this was happening, but all 5 of their starters play a ton of minutes. McBride leading the league in scoring, almost 25 points a game. Asia Wilson right behind her, though she is the MVP. Caitlin Clark, as you can see, only 2 players over 20 points a game. Think of 20 points kind of like 30 points in the NBA. Just because the minutes don't match up, but it is what it is. Asia Wilson leading the league in rebounding, almost 14 and a half, with 4 assists. There's a good reason why she won the MVP. Irafin, a double-double as a rookie. Aaliyah Boston, almost a double-double in, I think, her 2nd year. Natasha Cloud leading the league in assists. Caitlin Clark just a smidge behind her, tied with Alyssa Thomas, more of a point forward type player, despite what they have her as a power forward center. Ryan Howard right behind her. Asia Wilson leading the league in steals. Arike Ogunwale just a smidge behind her. Natasha Cloud, Nafisa Collier, and Nike Ogumike right behind her. As you see, the top 10 blocks. Asia Wilson almost 2 a game. Cameron Brink is a beast defensively. Don't let her small frame make you think otherwise. Turnovers per game. Kayla McBride had the ball in her hand a lot this year, so of course she's going to turn the ball over a bit more than most. Irafin also turning the ball over almost 3 times. Actually, I think the Sting was just kind of careless as their top 3 players in the turnover category. Fouls: Kayla Thornton, Natasha Cloud. I mean, listen, when they all play over 30 minutes a game, you're going to end up with a lot of fouls. Aaliyah Boston wins the field goal title. Alana Smith, the league leader in 3-point shooting, almost 45%. Mind you, that's not even the highest. There have been other seasons where players have shot 50% from 3. It's not out of the question. Maybe we'll see it at some point in the coming years. Caitlin McBride, Caitlin Clark, and such lead the 3-point shooting. Free throw percentage, wait a minute. We look at free throws per game. I'm just wondering how she had 99% free throw shooting. And you know what? She took a decent amount of attempts. She actually has the highest free throw percentage all time of any single season at 99%, just barely eclipsing Eva Nemkova. Points allowed, I mean, I don't even know how they come up with this. Plus minus, of course, A'ja Wilson, the best in all of the league. We'll see how the playoffs play out. I'll be honest with you, I wanted to go series by series, but I stupidly forgot about that. And the Lynx are the WNBA champions. Alana Smith, the leader in three-point shooting this season, is named the Kia Finals MVP. Almost 56, 90, and almost 50 from three in a series. That is absolutely nuts numbers as they take down the Las Vegas Aces, the dynasty of the current day. I mean, they are a dynasty in themselves. I think this is like their fourth championship in like a 7 or 8 year period. Like, don't sleep on the Lynx. I know they're out there in Minnesota, and I know the controversy as far as the real life WNBA finals are concerned. I'm a Liberty fan. I think the officiating was bad on both ends, but you know, it is what it is. As we take a look at some of the brackets, the Aces, how did they lose to the Lynx? They are a stacked team. Let's see how the series played out. Jackie Young, 20 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, as the Aces took the first game of the series, 87-79. Almost 4 players with 20 points. A very good shooting game, 33 of 63. It is what it is. The Lynx, Alana Smith leading the team with 18 and 5. Brittany Griner, yes, I forgot. The Lynx actually were stupidly active, and I mean like crazy active in free agency. They signed Kelsey Plum, Brittany Griner, a decent amount of players. Nafisa Collier only played 22 minutes, but only had 4 points. Game 2, Alana Smith leading the way, yet again shooting 50% from the field. Not much else as far as scoring. 10 boards from Collier. Why is she not shooting? What's going on? Is she injured? Nonetheless, the Aces take a 2-0 lead in the series. The Lynx end up taking game number 3 almost by 20 points. Chelsea Gray with 16. A'ja Wilson is not on the... Did something happen I didn't know about? I don't know. Maybe she was tired. I don't know. Maybe she was absolutely exhausted and she just ended up not playing in the finals game. That doesn't seem like her, though. Nonetheless, in game 3, 5 players in double figures for the Lynx ends up getting them just a bit closer to said championship. Game 4, Kelsey Plum dropping 18 points, but it's just not enough. Alana Smith, 11, 9, and 8, almost a triple-double in the finals. Nafisa Collier, 9 and 10, still not double digits in the finals, but, I mean, you know, she has some other players helping her out. As the series is tied at 2 games apiece, man, look at all the scoring, 92 to 83. 72 shots is bananas, though. And I see what the problem is. Dewana Bonner, A'ja Wilson, and Kaya Stokes all are injured. They all got injured in game number 4. So the Aces are going to have to do this tied at 2 games apiece, pretty much with whomever is sitting on the bench. But they are still a stacked team. Game 5, unfortunately, is not going to be enough as they couldn't even muster 60 points. They're down 3 games to 2. This is almost reminiscent of, I want to say, the 2019 NBA Finals, where basically Klay Thompson, Kevin Durant both got hurt in the finals and decimated a dynasty, though the Warriors did come back a couple years later to win a championship. It's not impossible, but how the hell do you only score both 9 points in overtime? Okay. And in game number 6, the Lynx clinch it. And this is not a similar situation as the Raptors and the Warriors. The Lynx are a damn good team. And they win their 5th NBA championship, now the most in all of WNBA. And here are some of the upcoming free agents. Nafisa Collier off of a championship might leave. That's nuts. A'ja Wilson, Sabrina Ionescu, Arika Agwale, Jackie Young, Jonquel Jones, Leah Boston, Ryan Howard. Like, there are a lot of talented players on this list. And but I am really expecting these franchises to basically core the majority of these players over 85 overall. Like, they're really key pieces, and let's be honest, these players are going to get max contracts. Maybe not Jonquel Jones. She has moved around a little bit in her career. Aaliyah Boston, only 23 years old. You pair her up with Caitlin Clark. Like, that is a dynamic duo you should be seeing for at least a decade. Elena Smith, she's coming off a finals MVP. Maybe she wants to max out her money. I feel like the Lynx can max out both her and Collier, but we shall see. Shakira Austin of the Mystics, damn good player at the age of 25. Pretty much improving every single year. The rebound numbers are a little bit down, and she's not blocking nearly as many shots as she did her first, 3 or 4 years. The league scoring champion, Kayla McBride, 33 years old. Maybe she's looking for a bag before she eventually calls it quits. Alicia Gray, very solid player. Don't let the 85 overall have you thinking otherwise. Brittany Starr. Oh, wow. Jewel Lloyd is a free agent. Interesting, because she is a lethal shooter in her own right. Chelsea Gray, just to name a few. Some of the retirements, Christy Tolliver going to call it a career after 14 years, sorry. She might not be a Hall of Famer, but she's a damn good player. Champion, 3-time All-Star, most improved player. Like, she's been a very quality, solid hand throughout her career. Danielle Robinson, I honestly can't tell you I know who she is off the top of my head, but she's been pretty good. 3-time All-Star, all defense, all NBA for a year, or made a rookie team. So she's, really hung around through the league. Don't let that 68 overall have you hung up. My boo, Alicia Clark. Yes, I'm not gonna lie, I have a crush on her. A 4-time WNBA champ, all defense, and 6th Woman of the Year at one point. Calling it a career, she might be a Hall of Famer. That kind of depends on how you look at it. I mean, yes, she's won championships. Kelsey Holmes, who I thought was a real player, how she's 38 and have 6-year career without any statistics is bananas, but I don't make the rules. Again, we're adding 2 teams to the league, the Shock and the Comets, one to the Eastern Conference, one to the Western Conference. I may make a rule change in the coming years where the East and the West matter. We shall see, as we are now up to 16 teams in the league. I wish I could kind of slate some of these teams in a division, but it is what it is. This game, listen, they haven't updated a lot of this expansion stuff in ages, but whatever. Draft lottery, as we were absolutely dog shit this year. Ooh, I probably shouldn't say that. No, we really were. We were terrible. As we take a look at the draft lottery, we are tied for the top lottery odds to get the first pick. The Sting and the Sparks. The Sparks have been bad for 5 or 6 years in a row. It's bananas. The Sun are going to stick at number 8, though they may be trading. I doubt that. The Storm will have Brianna Stewart and Jewel Lloyd, and if they resign Jewel Lloyd, they will stay at number 7, so maybe they look to add an impact rookie. We'll see whether they move it or whether they keep it. As we push along the number 6 spot, come on, acting a little slow with these ping pong balls. The Mercury, 10.5 chance of moving up. They will not move. They have the number 6th pick. They probably are going to use it. They haven't had a winning record in a couple years, but they do have some solid rookies. They'll add another one as they're pretty young, or if they're looking to get younger and get better from there. The Sparks are going to stay. No, they're going to move down to 5. They had top 3 odds, and unfortunately, they're not going to pick up a top 3 player in the draft. Remember, WNBA draft, really once you get past round 1, and sometimes you might not even get out of round 1, and a decent amount of players, will be okay, if not, that great. The Shock are going to stick to number 4 because they are an expansion team, and I believe the same is going to happen. They're not technically a new expanded team. They're really a rehash. At number 3, the Comets returning back to the league and probably wanting to become dominant again upon leaving. Remember, they won the very first 4 WNBA championships, and they will stick at number 3. Again, I don't think the expansion teams moved from 4 and 3. Remember, we had the number 4 pick last year, drafting Anissa Moreau. We have the number 2 odds, them and the Sting. Are we going to end up at 1? Ah, damn it, we're not going to end up at 1. We wind up with the number 2 pick. That's really not bad at all. Of course, we haven't picked number 1. This is our 2nd year in the draft, you bozo. Anywho, the Charlotte Sting will end up with the #1 overall pick, which is crazy. They'll have the Rookie of the Year. They will have a first-team all-defense. Again, this is all assuming that they keep McBride. And, geez, like, the Sting might be on their way skyrocketing up. No comment, pun intended. I was looking for Diana Taurasi in the free agent pool to sign her. Apparently, she's been an assistant coach this entire year, and I did not know about it. Apparently, her offensive system is the triangle, though I am almost very certain she's never played in the triangle. But, hey, she's a part of our coaching staff, and you know what? I appreciate it. Hopefully, she can help out. Again, I did not know that she was there. I originally rescinded her retirement last year. I didn't expect her to become a coach. Cody Maxwell, we're going to take a look at him as he may help us in free agency. As, again, there are some top-flight players out there, and bump up that salary. Hopefully, you can work his ways to getting us some talented players, as these are the remaining players on our roster that are expansion draft eligible. And, oh boy, I got to be honest with y'all. Remember last year, or last season to start it, I went through every team and decided to keep players. I thought the AI was just going to do it by itself. Or sorry, the CPU was going to do it itself. It didn't. I don't understand how they didn't bother to keep anybody. I am probably stupid for keeping my faith in the CPU. I should know better than that. And as you can see, there are going to be a lot of talented players who are young that teams are just going to be like, yeah, we're not concerned. And these teams, oh boy, the Comets and the Shock are going to be very talented right out the gate. And I'm concerned. We might not make the playoffs for a little bit. Now, granted, one team is in the East, one team is in the West, but that doesn't matter. Paige Buchers, who was just drafted by the Wings, is going to be a member of the Shock. Aaliyah Boston, 2 great seasons in Indiana. Kaputs, whatever. I will not make that mistake again in any future season. Jordan Horston gonna be, what the heck? I'm surprised she had an option, even though she got drafted by an expansion team. Some other players around the league, Grace Berger, Victoria Saxton. Teams are just going to try to keep their depth. Nyara Sabally, very solid player, 25 years old. She may be a little bit of a bust. We'll see. Dorka Juaz, I probably butchered her name. Diamond Miller. Feels like she's been there for like 7 years. The Mercury don't have anybody. Jade Milbourne of the Mystics. They're going to bring her back. Of course, the Shock are not going to let 2 of their better players go anywhere, despite the option on their team. Obviously, you're going to accept that. None of these salaries are going to blow you away, but I really love to see in the future some of them salaries go up, whether it be in this game and especially in real life. As a matter of fact, here the WNBA is opting out of their CBA, or at least the WNBA PA is opting out, and I don't blame them. Kind of going to mortgage some of that future for that money now, and I don't blame her. Odyssey Sims, who really hasn't played well in the last 3 seasons, of course, is not going to get her option, renewed. I mean, she hasn't shot well. She hasn't scored much. We are going to attempt to bring back Veronica Burton, as we don't really have a point guard, and I did like how she played in some of the games that we saw. Awak Kawir and Savegi Uzun, they're all going to be brought back, or attempt to be brought back on a qualifying, or Kirsten Bell, mid-range player. If she's out there in free agency, I might sign her. I do like having a player with a midi game. Laura Kubai, going to be extended. 3-and-D wing, Melissa Smith, Lexi Hull. The Fever do still have some players despite losing Boston, but really, why is the expansion draft so bad? I had it where you could, keep like at least 6 players, and the CPU just let me down. Shakira Austin, obviously going to come back. She is the leader of the Mystics. Shock and such, not going to have anybody to re-sign. Ray Burrell, Lee Yeru. Oh, Ray Burrell going to be a free agent? Really? Why wouldn't you keep her? She's a pretty damn good player. 5 points, 2 boards, 2 assists. I mean, I get the shooting isn't there, but I'm sure the upside is. Like, she at least shoots 85% from the free throw line. Delana Rupert, they're going to bring her back as a stretch 5. didn't really play them. No, she played 17 minutes a game, but only 3 points? Come on. Granted, you're playing with the league scoring champ, so, touches are going to be at a premium. Olivia Nelson-Oduda going to be brought back. Pretty damn good defensive player at the center and power forward position, though the WNBA is a lot more positionless than maybe so. Actually, the NBA still is also. Here are the free agents in moratorium. We can attempt to sign somebody. We're going to look at Veronica Burton, and she just doesn't want to come back, but she is a restricted free agent, so we may force her to come back just because she's still on a rookie deal. We're going to attempt to sign Sabrina Ionescu as our starting point guard. Listen, I couldn't take the chance not to get her, and we look like we are going to be the best offer despite the total money not being the best. We apparently are a better interest fit than the Sky and the Sting. Hopefully she takes that deal. And we are also going to offer Nafisa Collier off of a championship. These interest offers just don't seem that great. Granted, it's a max offer, so it's really more a matter of who does she want to play for at that point. 96 overall, 32 badges. Like, come on. I'd be stupid not to attempt to sign her, especially considering Elena Delle Donne is getting up there in age. She is going to be 36, maybe 37, depending on where her birthday falls in this. Asia Wilson, yeah, I'm going to take a look. And we have no chance. We have no shot. The Fever are offering her something. So the Liberty trying to rebuild back. And she might as well return to the Aces. Come on. She has a damn statue outside. She hasn't even turned 30 yet. And we are going to get Sabrina Ionescu and Nafisa Collier with Carly Samuelson already on our team. Well, she's a free agent at this present moment. She was already on our team. We're going to attempt to bring her back. Solid shooter. Not too bad. Listen, we need the guards, so why not have quality backups? Averages about 6-7 points a game. And we're going to attempt to sign her sister, slightly older sister, Carly Samuelson. And we are going to get all 4 of these players as we pick up some depth, much needed depth, as we couldn't get much scoring from a lot of our bench players, maybe here and there. Elena Delle Donne, I'm going to move her to what Basketball Reference says is the position she plays. Shooting guard, small forward. Though, honestly, at 6'5", she could play any of the damn positions. It doesn't matter. It's more a matter of role. Nafisa Collier will more than likely be the 3. Anissa Moreau, I hope she gets better. Oh boy, she looks like starting 4. Might need to sign somebody or have her come off the bench. I'm going to take a look at Bridget Carlton, a perimeter shot creator. And looking at the draft, because we do have the number 2 pick, we have to pay attention to that. Epiphany Booker doesn't look like a bad player to slot into the power forward, center position. Point guard I would have went with if, we didn't sign Ionescu. Ionescu's going to be here a couple years, so, who knows. Booker's ceiling is Asia Wilson. Her floor is Cheyenne Parker, which really ain't bad. Exceptional low post defender. Like, at the 4 spot, yes, we will take her. Maybe if she is there at the number 2 pick. She really should. Bridget Carlton is going to sign with us, 2-year deal. Very quality player. Burton is being offered a deal with the Sparks, and you know what? I need the backup point guard. You're coming back. Doesn't matter. Okay, she will not nearly play as many minutes as she might like, but when you have Ionescu there, come on. We're going to release Naisa Person, a player we drafted last year, the center. She did not play very much, though I do like the height. She's 6'6", but she's a work in progress with her game, and unfortunately, in such a cutthroat league, I can't take that chance. As far as player progression is concerned, Nafisa Collier at her peak, Ionescu also at her peak. Elena Delle Donne coming down slowly. Maybe she plays until she's 40. We shall see. Bridget Carlton goes up just a little bit at the age of 28. JC Sheldon goes up with perimeter defense to an A+. We need that, especially if she's going to be a second unit player. And Anissa Moreau takes a huge leap. 7 overall points, better in inside scoring, midi, perimeter and interior defense, playmaking, rebounding, her physicality and her IQ all go up. Hanju should be our starting 5. Veronica Burton also getting better, even though she probably wants to be somewhere else where she can flex some of her improvements as a starter. Katie and Carly Samuelson also get just a tad bit better. This is quickly looking like the team. Let me know what y'all think down in the comment section. This video is far from over. Remember, we haven't even drafted yet, and we've got a number of A+, A type potential players. The first pick in the draft is going to Kirsten Carlson, a small forward. Small is definitely the right word. It's 150 pounds. I guess they're leaning on her potential there in Charlotte. We'll see how that plays out. Maybe they're going to lose McBride. I don't see that. I mean, that'd be a nice pairing, as we have the number 2 pick, and we're going to first look to see if we can trade it. See what we are offered, because considering we got Collier and Ionescu, we don't necessarily have to take a player with this first-round pick. We can trade it off for a future first-round draft pick, because we are offered a quality player and some two firsts from the Fever. Maybe they see somebody we haven't paid much attention to at the top of the draft. Markeisha Davis, and a draft pick, a second-round draft pick, available all picks, 2 quality players, and they want Anissa Moreau. Y'all are not going to take our first-round draft pick. We're going to keep her. The Mercury offer us a point guard. The Mystics, no, you out your rabbit mind. The Chicago Sky, this is interesting, though top 5 protected doesn't mean as much. No, you are not getting Anissa Moreau to pair with Cameron Brink, and you're not getting our 6'11 center either. She's the most improved player of the year. Maddie Segrist, ooh, this is tempting, as she'd be a quality player now as opposed to in the future. No, Sting, leave Moreau alone. I'm not trading her. And the Detroit Shock are looking to trade a first. Just move down 2 picks. It was very, very tempting. As I take a look at the roster, Ionescu and Burton are the lead guards, whether you like it or not. At the 2 guard, well, it's really going to be Della Don, but Sheldon and Samuelson are versatile. They can play either the 1 or the 3. Della Don going to move to the 2. Collier, with Moreau being better at the power forward position, we're going to let Collier be the 3. Let her roam around and do what she got to do. I don't know why she went down 3 overall points. She hasn't played a freaking game. I don't know why the overalls are jumping like that. Whatever. It might have something to do with my regression sliders. Either way, and of course, Hanshu is at center. So we kind of need another big. So I'm going to look at some of these centers. I don't tend to do a ton of scouting in NBA 2K, and a lot of that reason is because if you click over R1, R2, you can see their overall, and I think that's just cheese. I don't want to see that. Anyways, we're going to take Epiphany Booker, who led the nation in rebounds, 6'4" power forward from North Carolina, and now the Houston Comets are on the clock. They're going to go with Imani Mitchell, the fastest point guard in the entire draft. As you see their new uniforms, though. 2K, what is up with the terrible quality? This is like 360p. Like, come on. Ju-Su Bledsoe going to be the first draft pick for the revived Shock, as you see there. Detroit Pistons kind of inspired uniforms. That's what I kind of went with for them. The Sparks are now on the clock as they go with Nola Tatum, 6'1" from Xavier. She is definitely an upside player, though the scouts don't seem to think she might be a first-round talent. We'll see. Phoenix Mercury going to go with a 2-guard, Anita Phillips. You know what? That should be a good look. I think she shot very well at the combine. She also is a freaking thief. 2.3 steals a game at Northern Iowa. She is going to be a problem in the backcourt for years to come if she plays as well as she did in college. Adrian Nunali from Argentina, which she looks a little dark to be somebody from Argentina. I know people from Argentina, they don't tend to look like that, but it is what it is. You never know, man. Allie Snow, point guard from Gonzaga, led the nation in assists. The Connecticut Sun get yet another player who can pass their ass off. You still have Alyssa Thomas. That's nuts. All right, replacing Ionescu for the Liberty is going to be Kelly Ramirez, 5'7", 121 from Argentina. they're kind of concerned, being as she's an overseas player. I'm a little surprised you can't stash players anymore. I know you could like 2 or 3 2Ks ago. I don't know why they got rid of that. Maureen Hanson, the power forward, is going to be drafted to the Mystics. She is a player I did seriously contemplate drafting. If Moreau didn't get that much better, or at least what I could see was that much better, I would have definitely went with her. I'm happy with what I picked though. Kayla Parks, the small forward, going to Chicago. She'll be alongside Cardoso. No, Cardoso left because of the expansion draft. Chicago was a hot mess, both in real life and in this game. Diamond Paul can be drafted by the Wings. Does that mean they lost Erika Ogunwale? Because I would be seriously concerned, though she does have a 42-inch vertical. Yeah, 2K. Isnell Ford going to be drafted by the Dream, a team that I don't think I've showcased not once in the first season. We will definitely be sure to take a look at them in season 2, the 2026 year. And we have our first trade. And it looks like it's going to be the Fever trading a first-round pick for Markeisha Davis, a player that was offered to us, and we ended up declining. So, a Liberty on the clock, and they choose Alina Reeves, a 6'3 center from Indianapolis. They think there's still players available, but they needed to fill a starting role. So, it is what it is. Hopefully, she is impactful in her first year. Rebecca Cheatham going to be drafted. She is one of the strongest players in the draft combine. You're pairing her alongside an Asia Wilson, and oh boy, it's going to be bully ball in Vegas. Jocelyn Mitchell, drafted by the champion Lynx. I'm guessing this is replacing Nafisa Collier in some respects, and she shoots her ass off. Remember, they had Kayla McBride a couple seasons ago. They just had Nafisa Collier, but she came to us. Now they have another shooter, the Lynx, trying to restart a dynasty, and we're going to look at some of the bigs, and we're going to go with Peter Mullen from Savannah State, 6'5", 173. She is the strongest player in the draft, and I need a backup center behind Shu, though Epiphany Booker can also hold it down. Shu doesn't exactly play a lot of minutes, and due to how many players we have currently in the locker room, we have 13. I'm going to have to let somebody go, and you know what? It's unfortunately going to be Lauren Young. I don't know anything about her. She might make me regret this. She's a three-point shooter. She shoots pretty damn well. But unfortunately, her WNBA career will not start with us, and we're $400,000 over the cap. And now we have reached the 2026 season. We start off our season against the Houston Comets, who, oh my God, they really are a damn good team to start this off. This is nuts. Look at all those plus 85 starters. Jeez. Tina Charles, doing her thing. Hopefully you guys like the uniform, but we will see what this team really is working with in the very next episode. Mingling Conley, a player we had on our team, is going to be looking like a backup point guard for the Houston Comets. Again, I wish her the best. We had to let her go, and this is more than likely going to be the initial rotation. Ionescu, Deladon, Murrow at the 3, Collier at the 4. I might flip that. Honshu at the 5, JC Sheldon coming off the bench as a lead guard. Bridget Carlton also coming off the bench. Veronica Burton. We'll move that around, mix up some of the minutes. Katie and Carly Lou Samuelson, we'll definitely, have them playing. Epiphany Booker's going to have to play a role, and so will Petra Mullen. Maybe not nearly as much. I do have it where we use up 12 players as far as rotation is concerned. We'll cut that down if we need to. Check us out. Check out the Franchise Ain't Dead podcast also. Peace out.